Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Dream Tales. Enjoy tonight's dark fantasy story as you fall into your deepest of sleeps. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. The Nocturne of Ashvale. Chapter 1. The Smoldering Road. Ashvale had always been a town where shadows arrived before the sunset. Even in summer, when the days stretched long and the sky glowed with warm gold, the residents hurried home early, bolting their shutters at the first hint of evening. Travelers passing through often asked why, but they never lingered long enough to hear the full answer. It was one thing to hear a tale of a curse. Quite another to stay overnight and meet it. On this particular evening, as dusk crawled down the spine of the Ashen Hills, a lone traveler approached the outskirts of Ashvale. His cloak was weather-worn, frayed at the hem, its hood pulled low over his brow. He carried a traveler's pack and a sword that did not gleam but drank the last of the daylight. His name was Corin Vale, though he had once been called other things, names spoken in fear or awe or a mixture of the two. Titles that clung like soot to his past and could not be easily washed away. But he wore none of them now. The road into Ashvale was lined with dead trees that clawed at the sky like skeletal hands. The soil underfoot was blackened, not from fire but from something older. Something more deliberate. Corin paused, kneeling to brush the dirt between his fingers. Cold. Dry. Leached of life. He had seen this before. Blightroot, he murmured under his breath. The corruption of a dying forest spirit, or perhaps the mark of a curse. He hoped it was the former. Forest spirits could be killed. Curses had a habit of killing back. A cart rattled from the town, pulled by a single exhausted mule. Its driver, a lantern-jawed man with sunken eyes, saw Corin and snapped the reins hard as if proximity alone might infect him. "Turn back for your own good, stranger," the man called out. "Ashvale ain't fit for the livin' dot." Corin straightened. "I've heard the rumors. I'm here to help." "Ain't no help for a place already damned." The cart rolled past him without another word. Corin walked on. Behind him, the sun dipped fully beneath the hills. Ahead of him, Ashvale waited. And in its heart, something very old stirred. Chapter 2. The Whispering Inn. The inn at the edge of Ashvale was called the Weeping Lantern, and its sign swung from one rusted chain. At some point long ago, someone had carved an intricately detailed lantern into the wooden plaque. Now the lantern's carved flame was scratched out, as if no one wished to depict light in Ashvale anymore. Corin pushed open the door. The scent of smoke, stale beer, and human fear met him at once. Inside, the room was dim, lit only by a handful of candles. Each flame burned low, flickering nervously, as though it too sensed it had no business being awake after sundown. A dozen locals sat huddled around tables, speaking in whispers if at all. Their eyes darted to the windows each time the wind howled. The innkeeper, a gaunt woman with iron-gray hair, looked up as Corin approached the counter. "Rooms are full," she said quickly. "Try elsewhere." Corin raised an eyebrow. "The town looks half empty." "It's full for you," she said. "Strangers bring attention. Unwanted attention." "I don't mind attention." "We do." Corin pulled 2 silver coins from his pouch and placed them gently on the counter. "Not enough to insult, enough to matter." The innkeeper's eyes hardened. "Silver won't save you. Nor any of us." "It doesn't need to," Corin replied. "I only need a room." She stared at him for a long moment before collecting the coins with a trembling hand. "You've bought yourself a night. No more. Dawn comes, you leave." Corin nodded. "Name's Neralda," the innkeeper added in a softer tone. "And if you hear anything in your sleep, anything at all, you ignore it. You stick a pillow over your ears or hum a song or pray to whatever gods still listen. But you do not answer." "Answer what?" "The voices. The knocking. The scratching." She swallowed hard. "It's how it begins." Corin's eyes narrowed. "The curse. Or worse." Has it claimed many? Everyone, Neralda whispered. Everyone but the ones who fled. You stay long enough, it marks you. And once it has your name, you never sleep in peace again. Corin felt a heaviness settle in his chest. He had hoped the stories were exaggerations. Or hysteria. But this had all the hallmarks of old magic, dangerous magic. He rented the room anyway. Chapter 3. The Night Song. Corin dreamed. He had not meant to. He had intended to meditate, to remain half awake as was his habit in dangerous lands. But weariness crept over him like a slow poison. The moment he lay down, sleep seized him. The dream was wrong from the start. He stood in a forest of blackened trees beneath a moon that was too large, too close. Its surface writhed, as if alive. The shadows beneath the trees twisted like living creatures. And from somewhere deeper in the forest came a melody. Soft. Sweet. Terribly familiar. A lullaby. He had not heard it in years, not since childhood. Corin's breath caught. His heart constricted painfully. No, he whispered. Not this. Not again. But the song grew louder. Someone, or something, began to hum along with it. A woman's voice. A voice he knew. Corin, it called gently. You shouldn't have come back. He turned. A figure stood half-hidden between the trees. A woman draped in tattered nightclothes, her skin impossibly pale, her hair long and tangled. Her face, though cast in shadow, was unmistakable. Mother. Her head tilted. You left me in the dark for so long. You died, Corin said hoarsely. You were killed. I couldn't. You left me, the figure repeated, her voice hardening with each word. You left me alone with them. And now you brought them here. The shadows behind her writhed. Hands, charred and skeletal, reached toward him. Corin drew his sword. And jolted awake. The room was cold. Every candle had burned out. His breath fogged in the air. And from beyond the door came a faint whisper. Corin. 3 soft knocks. Knock. 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 His blood chilled. He rose, gripping his sword. Don't answer, Neralda had warned. But the voice. It was not his mother's now. It was something far worse. Corin, the whisper came again, this time from the window. He moved slowly toward it. Cold fog pressed against the glass, but within the fog a shape formed. A face. Eyes like hollow moons. A mouth stretching into an impossible smile. We found you. The window shattered. Chapter 4. The Gray Man. Corin leapt back, blade drawn as icy wind tore through the room. Shards of glass spiraled in the air, but they did not fall. They spun, suspended like insects trapped in amber. Slowly, deliberately, they drifted together, rearranging themselves into a human shape. A tall, gaunt figure with limbs too long and skin the color of old ash. Its face was smooth, featureless except for a mouth that appeared only when it spoke. And it smiled so wide the glass cut its own skin. We remember you. Then it lunged. Corin slashed, the blade slicing through the creature's torso. Its body burst apart in a cyclone of glass and smoke, but instantly reformed behind him. He spun again. Cut again. Again it reformed. Corin gritted his teeth. This is a dream, he whispered to himself. A waking dream. A tether. The creature's head twisted, cracking like breaking bone. You dream, we cross. Then it lunged again. Corin grabbed a candle from the table and with a flick of his thumb sparked a flame. And rammed it into the creature's chest. Light. The one thing the Dreamborn hated. The figure shrieked, its body unraveling like burnt paper. The room went silent. Corin stood alone. Except someone was watching him. A young woman stood in the hallway, trembling violently, her hair disheveled, her nightdress soaked with sweat. "You," she stammered, pointing at him. "You brought it." She collapsed. Corin rushed to her side. "Easy," he said. "You're safe now." "No one's safe," she whispered. "Not while he is awake." "Who?" Her eyes rolled back. Her voice became a rasp. "The Gray Man." Corin froze. Impossible. The Gray Man was a myth, an old tale of the nocturne curse, a story told to frighten children. A being who crept from nightmares into the waking world. A hunter of names and memories. He thought it long dead. "Tell me your name," Corin said softly. The woman's breath rattled. "Ariel." "What happened here, Ariel? Why is the curse awake?" Her lips trembled. "Because the sleeper is stirring." Corin grabbed her shoulders. "Who is the sleeper?" Ariel's eyes focused on him, truly focused, for the first time. Then she spoke a name. A name Corin had not heard in years. A name he prayed he would never hear again. "Your mother."